What are your thoughts on someone writing a novel before they write the screenplay?
I think Hollywood is obsessed with IP, intellectual property. And I think that it makes it a lot easier if you can have a book and also have a screenplay, that's going to put you so far ahead of the game.
Do you think someone who's a novelist can actually write their own screenplay?
I don't think every novelist should write their own screenplay. My experience when Party Girl first came out, one of the first people who wanted it was Melanie Griffith, the actress Melanie Griffith. And she contacted me and said, I want to make this. And she was then married to Antonio Banderas. And she said, will you come meet with us? And I went to their house and I met with them. And it was so magical. And I sat there with them. And I remember somebody who worked in the house came in and said, it's Mr. Katzenberg on the line. And so he left and Melanie goes, tell Jeffrey about Party Girl. And I'm like, I'm sure he doesn't care. Melanie wanted me to write the screenplay. She said, this is your story. Let's have you write it. And I sat down and I had no idea what to do. Many years passed and then the pandemic hit. My boyfriend happens to not just be a screenwriter, but a structural genius. And he said to me, you absolutely could write this screenplay. You just need the structure. I actually had tried to write scripts in the past and I did actually even get paid to do one, but I really didn't know what I was doing. Once he mapped out the structure for me, I just was able to write it. I thought I was just doing it for fun, keep me busy during a pandemic. I ended up having some friends read the screenplay. My friend Jeff Garland from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and then my friend Rebecca De Mornay, who's an actress, we did a Zoom reading. And I heard, and again, it was just kind of for fun, and I heard them, and this was good, and everybody was laughing. And both of them said to me afterwards, this script works. And that's actually the one that's getting made. So it took me 15 years to end the right structure to realize how to do it. There are definitely different skill sets, but there are definitely people who are able to write the book and the script.
And what is your definition of IP?
That's a great question. I think IP is a book, a podcast, a YouTube show, an article, anything that is the property of somebody else that somebody could option and then make into a movie or a TV show.
Why is it important for a writer to own their own IP?
It's important for a writer to own their own IP because writers don't have a lot of power. The one thing you've got is your idea. And they can rewrite you and they can, they can take your power away. But if you've got your idea and it's documented clearly that that's your idea, no one can ever take that away from you.
Why didn't you originally want to write the screenplay for Party Girl?
I didn't want to write the screenplay because I didn't think I knew how. And I always felt like I was hearing stories about that diva person who ruined the project because she was so committed to being the one who wrote the script or whatever. I'm a very practical person, which is why when the original sort of bidding war over the book came out, I said, who's paying me the most? Which is the most option? Because I know the chances of it actually getting made aren't that great. So who's going to pay me the most? And somebody said, well, we want this to be a Lifetime movie. And someone else said, I want this to be a Warner Brothers movie. I'm like, well, Lifetime is shooting lower. That seems more realistic. Let's go with that. So I wanted it to be made. And if I was going to stand in the way of it being made because I insisted on writing the script, that didn't make a lot of sense. Once I realized I could actually do a good job at it, that's when I was willing to do it.
How is writing a screenplay different than writing a novel?
I think writing a screenplay, if you have the structure, it can really write itself once you've got the structure down. When you're writing a novel, it obviously, there are many more words on the page, but there are many more nuances, descriptions, character development. I think it is possibly, I think more people believe they can write screenplays and try than people think they can write novels and try. I think if you're going to try to write a novel, you're probably going to succeed and it's going to be pretty good. There are a lot of really terrible scripts out there.
Is it because maybe there's so much, thinking and different things that you're writing into the novel where you can't really portray that within the, sort of the screenplay format? You've got a more, it's difficult.
Yeah, I think this is like, if we're talking about the same thing, I think with movies, I think aspiring authors are probably going to be readers who read a lot of books, as opposed to aspiring screenwriters who are probably people who like movies who maybe don't have any history or experience with writing. So it's very easy to kind of be like, oh, Star Wars, that's a great, here's my, space movie idea. Whereas that wouldn't last very long if you were trying to do that as a book. It would fall apart pretty quickly, I think.
What if a novelist doesn't have a skill set to adapt their screenplay?
If a novelist does not have their skill set to adapt the screenplay, stay the hell out. Out of respect for your own work, hope that the best writer is the one who adapts it. That being said, I know of stories where a writer is such a big writer that they are given that opportunity, and get somebody who really knows what they're doing to supervise. I mean, you're after the best version of your book, not getting in the Writers Guild or having the glory of your name as a screenwriter.
How does a writer know their novel actually should be written as a movie?
I will say, I'll talk from my experience. I've written 7 books, and there's only one that people always say should be a movie. And I guess the difference is that there's a twist, and there's something about it that's cinematic. I honestly do not know. I didn't write that one saying, oh my God, this is going to be a movie and these aren't going to be movies. I think it has to, I don't know science fiction genre and all these genres. What I know are sort of the movies that would be, the books that would be made into romantic comedies, and they have to have vibrant characters. They have to have surprising twists. They have to have, you see this couple in the beginning and you want them to be together, but there are going to be realistic obstacles that are going to keep them apart.